What's up, guys? I almost said Happy Tailgate Tuesday, but it's Thursday.
Starts with a T.
Starts with a T. Idle Zone Syndicate time with your regular crew. Got Mr. Crank up in the corner tonight. Glad to have you back after a little break.
Mm-hmm. Glad my busy season of work is over.
Amen to that. Well, we have a fun guest tonight. I think this is going to be a good show. Mr. Kister.
What do you know today?
Huh?
I said, what do you know today?
I know the wind is laying down. It's less than 30 miles an hour outside.
Oh my gosh.
So it's slick calm.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, less than 30 is slick calm.
Bet you it was at least blowing 40 here.
Yeah, we had a little fire north of town today, burn up about 500 acres of CRP grass and plum thickets and quail and whitetail bucks and property.
Ouch.
Good times.
Everybody okay?
So far.
Haven't heard of any injuries or anything like that.
And I only mention that because one of our faithful viewers, his home was actually right there. And it was spared, went right around it. So
good deal.
Yeah, that's
good
pretty
to hear.
awesome. So
I mean, it sucks to be a quail, but
yeah.
Quails can get out of the way. Houses can't.
You guys ready to get this show on the road?
Let's let her fly, man.
Well, we got a really cool special guest tonight. He's been with Bassmaster for at least 10 years that I can remember. His stats show that he has 132 total tournaments. He's a classic winner. Hey, John.
Hi, John.
Good evening. Good evening.
So he's placed 90 times in the money out of 132. He's made the classic 10 years in a row. I don't know if that's in a row or not. I'd like to ask him. And he's made over $2 million in career earnings. I know he calls 10 Killer Lake his home. Let's bring him on, Mr. Jason Christie. Howdy.
What's up, man?
How are we doing?
What's up?
If we were in our bedroom, we'd be worried.
You guys already talked about it, but you guys are blowing away up there, and it's hitting here now, I think.
Yay. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, it's blowing hard right now.
Stay inside.
Yeah. How are you, Jason?
It's good. You're right. It is blowing here. It's blowing the one direction that I don't like it blowing for deer hunting. It's like a west, got just a little bit of north in it. And I got a lot of tree stands to go to get into, but with that direction, it kind of puts a kink in things. So yeah, it was blowing this evening. I was in a tree and we were talking before the show. It would blow and I would reach over and touch the ground and grab an acorn, and I'd blow and I'd grab an acorn on this side and throw it out in front of me. So I was pretty unlucky. I had 8 places that I thought 8 stands that I could have went to. Now only 2 or 3 I could hunt with the wind. And out of 8 stands, only 1 did not have a deer show up. Only 2 did not have a shooter show up. And I was in the one that not a deer showed up. So that's pretty unlucky whenever you have that many choices and then you choose that wrong. So
I'm assuming you've got cameras on all of them then, huh?
I have so many cameras out, like it's I wish I could turn this around. I don't want to mess it up, but I literally have a charging station right there of lithium batteries for my cameras. So I run a bunch of cameras, and I think that's what deer hunting has turned into for me. Is I like watching them. I like chasing them more than I like killing them. You know, we have a month of season. We only have 3 weeks of season left. I've hunted a lot, and I've not killed a deer. And it's not because I haven't had the chance to. It's just I like watching, and we only get 2 tags, and I did not get a Kansas tag this year, so we only get 2 tags. And before rifle season, you're like, man, if I shoot one, I'm only going to have 1 tag left, and what if I have 2 big ones? I love hunting in December and January. So I still have 2 tags left, but I'm about to get a little less picky. So, because we typically eat 5 to 8 a year, 5, 6, 7, or 8, somewhere in there. I have 1, and I didn't even kill it. My daughter killed it. So I got to get busy.
I was going to say, when do you start getting picky?
Well, I will not shoot I just don't shoot something that I shoot. I mean, when I start needing deer meat, I'll start doe patrol. I mean, I'll go and start shooting some does, and we're gonna have I'm gonna have some people over during the antler season, and 6 or 7, 8 buddies, and we're going to take some does. So I know I'll get some deer meat, but I'd like to be a part of that. So, and I just been busy. I mean, the other evening I had a chance to shoot one, and I'm like, man, if I shoot him, I got to do this and I got to do that, and I got to film tomorrow, and I got a photo shoot the next day. So boats wrapped, trucks wrapped, everything's good to go. So this last 3 weeks I got a lot of time. So I might order me an extra dozen arrows.
What kind of quality you got on your cameras?
So it depends on what you call quality.
How many shooters you got on there?
I don't chase inches. I just never have, and I don't think I never will. Like I chase age. And sometimes those come together. I mean, age is, you'll have a big rack, but sometimes they don't. Like I have 5 deer right now on 700 acres that I would shoot. One is big. The second one's pretty big. The third one is a 6-point that I think is 7.5. The other one is got to be 25 inches wide. And he does not have tines as long as my pinky, and he's got to be 6.5. So it doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. Like I got goosebumps right now talking about the wide one, because he's the only one I've not laid eyes on. It just aged like it, and it's a game for me. It's more fun for me to pick a deer out and hunt that specific deer than it is to go get in the deer stand and shoot a big one. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody that's watching, but I don't know. I just like to play the cat and mouse with him, and I like to try to figure him out as opposed to just going and killing a big one. When I go to Kansas, I go to kill a big one. But around here, like this 6-point that I got over here, his horns are that big around at the bottom. He is smart. He is so smart. Like when I think he's here, he'll be over there. I mean, he's just, and I get just as much rewarded as chasing them as I do a great big one. So
fun. What's the on that back wall behind you? What's your favorite one out of all of them? So
that's only you're only seeing about 10 feet of that wall.
Oh, okay.
Looks are deceiving then, I guess.
Yeah, so that goes all the way down 30. I mean, that goes all the way down. And honestly, you can't see it. But the one right there above my pinky, I mean, this one is 176. That one right there is an 8-point that'll probably 125. That's my most valued possession. Chased him for 3 years. He actually roamed exactly where the house is sitting now. But I chased him for 3 years. The first year I never saw him. The second year I saw him once. The third year I had 13 encounters with him before I killed him.
Wow.
So when I say 13, like literally right where my house is sitting, right over there, used to be a food plot. And he came in right at dark and I drew on him. And it was one of those where I could have shot, but I was like, I'm not going to shoot. I'm just not going to shoot. And then one morning he snuck in behind me in the snow and I went to draw and he just saw me. That's all it was to it. But I had 13 encounters with him before I finally got him. And even when I put an arrow in him, it was one of the craziest like track jobs. And it was actually a pretty good shot, but he went one way and my wife and my buddy and stuff, we went to tracking him that way and I lost blood and literally gave up. And by the time I gave up, I checked my camera and I had a camera in a food plot. I told you I had a lot of cameras. I had a camera in a food plot and the camera was pointed at my truck. It's where I parked my truck to go track this deer. And that deer went between my truck and the camera. Like I thought he went east and he was headed directly, he just did a 180. I probably honestly jumped him when we were starting and he bolted through there, but I found him a quarter mile the opposite way. But had I not got that trail cam picture, I would not have found that deer. So it's just the chase, and on that wall, there's big ones and and every one of them has a different story. But that one, I mean, it was just, I hunted him. Like I literally hunted on this one ridge for 3 months trying to kill that one deer. And if I would have killed him 2 years earlier, he was about 20 inches bigger, but he was 9.5 when I killed him. So I don't know if he died of my arrow or just because of old age and he ran into a tree. Anyway, he's on the wall. Yeah.
So one more question, then John or Daniel, I'll let you guys chime in. You mentioned more than once that it's about the chase for you. And do you relate deer hunting to bass fishing in that sense, in that thought process?
In some ways, for sure. In some ways, and I know the first thing where they're the most similar is that every one of them is different. Every deer is different. They have different personalities, and every fish. I mean, when I say there's not that many personalities a fish can have, but fish, they're all different. Like you got the old fish that lives on a log. He doesn't move from that log. You got the fish that swim. They don't stop swimming. And you got the fish that move around, and the deer the same way. Like I've learned a lot, and it's kind of corresponds trail cameras with live scope. I've learned a lot with trail cams over the years. What absolutely blows my mind is within a mile of this house, I have 25 cameras out. Some on scrapes, some on feed, some on trails, some on private on my driveway. And I got cameras out in Kansas. And, in Kansas is far enough away that they could be a day ahead on weather. They could be 20 up there and 70 here for a day. It does not matter. When those cameras fire in Kansas, they fire here. When they fire here, they fire in Kansas. And it's the same way in fishing. When I fished MLF and we had the updates, there's times where it blows up. And then there's times where it goes dead. Well, not everybody's fishing the same creek. Everybody's all over the lake. So do I have it figured out? Absolutely not. But it's just, it's chasing them. It's learning about them. And I think one of the bad things is by the time I have it really dialed in, I'm probably going to be too old to go deer hunting. So, because it's going to take that long.
I know it just seems like there's a hell of a bunch of good bass fishermen that are really, really good deer hunters too, you know.
Yeah.
Seems like that goes hand in hand, or, you know, there's a lot of guys I know that chase crappie and, you know, maybe float the river in the wintertime too. But yeah.
Yeah, there's really not. I mean, there's not anything I don't like doing. I mean, I took my wife and we're going to actually go again next week. We went gigging last week. 8 hog sucker on the creek bank, best fish I've ever eaten. There's not any kind of fishing that I don't like. Some I like more than others, but I mean, the saltwater fishing is cool. Like I like all kinds of fishing, and it's the same way with hunting. Like I like all kinds of hunting, but I just don't have time to do it all. You know, it's duck hunting and deer hunting don't go together. I'd rather be in a deer stand as standing in the water. But I like it all.
You got to get lucky enough to get that big deer like early season in order to duck hunt the rest of the winter.
Yeah. But see, I'm not like that. Like the very first day of season this year, I had one that I thought was big, that I was like, he's pretty big. I'm going to go check him out. And the first evening I laid eyes on him and I was like, gosh, I don't want to shoot one the first day, because that leaves me with one tag the rest of the season. And I didn't shoot him. And like I would chew my leg off if he would have come in this evening. I would have let him have it, you know. But it's just so early in the season that I like hunting more than I like chasing more than I like actually doing it. I still want to fill the tags, but I'd like to fill them like January 5th, January 10th, where I get a whole time of hunting, because I was on skid steer all day. So if I'm not hunting, I didn't hunt because of the wind this morning. If I'm not hunting, I'm working. So I'd rather be deer hunting.
You're just taking advantage of the peace and quiet in that tree stand. I get it.
Yeah. I actually get a lot of work done. Like that's the time whenever, especially a day like today, when you can hear them walking 100 yards. Like I get a lot of email. I got my jerseys ordered this evening. I get a lot of work done in the tree stand.
You got your jerseys ordered in between playing fetch with squirrels?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet. John, did you go to sleep?
No, I am trying to convince a guy that this is not the lodge at Grand Lake, Grand Casino, and we don't have a buy a room, get a free dinner rate.
Well, you could thaw out some of that armadillo chili for him.
I could, but he's called twice, and I told him he has the wrong number, but he's not buying it.
Man, I'm thinking if he calls the third time, you just go ahead and charge him.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
we do have a room for him, but he's not getting dinner out of us. Kellen Davis wants to know what you have in your red Solo cup.
That's a secret.
I bet you it's different than what I got in this one.
Yeah.
He also wants to know, are you excited about next season? I guess he's talking about we're moving on to the bass fishing now.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's you know, I coached for I played for a long time and I coached for a long time. And now I'm bass fishing, and kind of a coaching playing analogies. The only way to get over a bad game is to play another one. The only way to get over a subpar season is to start another one. And that's what I'm ready to do. You know, it wasn't the worst season, but it's not what I want. Yeah, I'm ready to go. We have a good schedule. It's a little different this year. You know, we're not starting in Florida or Texas, and I like it. I mean, the tournament schedule, to me, I get most excited whenever it's just totally different. We have some of the same ones that's always on there this year, but we have some different ones too, some places we haven't been in a while. So I am excited. I'm most excited that I can't even read my watch, December 18th, 17th, 18th.
18th.
I got jerseys ordered. I got my boat wrap. I got my truck wrap. I got everything. I got to do a little bit of inventory, but other than that, I'm ready to go. So that's what I'm most excited about. I'm kind of holding off. I usually use 4 weeks. When it hits 4 weeks before season, I start fishing. And we start so early this year that I'm going to fish until like 3 o'clock and deer hunt in the evenings. But I use 4 weeks of kind of getting ready. And so that's earlier. But, yeah, I'm ready to go.
You just fish around here to get ready, or do you try to go?
No, we're pretty versatile where I live. The only thing that I'm missing is just really like just acres and acres of hydrilla. But we're pretty versatile. I can go to the Arkansas River. I can go to 10 Killer. I can go to Grand. There's a lot of little lakes that have grass and stuff in them. Not hydrilla, but it's versatile. I can get about what I want here. And, I travel most of the year, so it's hard for me to travel in January and then be fired up to travel for the season. So I pretty much stay around here. We are filming a lot, so we are going to travel a little bit, but it'll be like leave in the morning, drive 3 or 4 hours, fish till dark, stay the night, fish the next day, and drive home. Just try to do some filming.
Yeah. Is there a particular stop on the schedule that you're looking forward to?
I think the first one's going to be crazy good. Gunnersville. I'm kind of looking forward to the Pascatank. We started there last year, and I only lost by, I almost won the event. I think I lost by a smooth 100 pounds, if I think about it.
Yeah.
So a little redemption there on that one. Other than that, it's, we got the Arkansas River. I grew up fishing there, and it's 10 Killer's different. 10 Killer, what you see is what you get. The Arkansas River is not that way. We have a tournament in the spring where it's going to be really good, and the Arkansas River is fishing better right now than it ever has. So pretty excited about that one.
Ever fish in Kansas? Kevin Miller wants to know.
I have not. I have never. Oh, I take that back. The Garmin headquarters, one of the lakes that they test at is in Kansas, and I made like 3 casts one day. So other than that, I've never fished in Kansas.
Probably Hillsdale, maybe.
Whatever's close to Garmin.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Probably
I think Brent Chapman lives close to it. But we went up there a few times and had some powwows on that lake. But
was it a big lake or a small?
No, it wasn't very big. I'd guess 200-300 acres.
Oh, not Hillsdale.
not Hillsdale.
Yeah, just guess.
Probably Lake Quivira then. Probably
Yeah.
Brent's
Yeah.
Lake.
It may have been that. So
Yeah. I don't know if Kevin's looking for a partner, but he's wanting to know if you want to fish the Frank Stong Memorial Tournament. It's on Big Hill.
if I cross the
somebody on this screen has won the last 2 years of that tournament.
Hammer.
I will give you 3 guesses.
Well, it wasn't me, because if I go across Kansas,
Somebody on this screen has won it twice, I think. But somebody's won it twice back to back.
That's just because I wasn't there.
Are
Me
you,
either.
are you two guys the only guys fishing this tournament or what?
Yeah, beautiful.
Just about.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I digress. I digress. Somebody, I think it was Kevin, maybe back here a few questions back, wanted to know what your thoughts are on the classic venue and how that's going to be, how that tournament's going to pan out.
Well, I can guarantee you this: Gussie's not going to win.
That is a true statement.
Because Gussie's not in it, and that's unfortunate because he just I don't know, he has that place figured out, and I mean, I knew whenever the last time we were there, we practiced. After practice the first day, I ran into him on the bank, and he mumbled something, and I looked in his eye, and I was like, I didn't tell it to him, but I told his wife, I was like, he's about to win this derby, and he did. Here's what I think about that: the venue is one of the best venues we have as far as for the spectator. Takeoff, weigh-in, expo, all of that is in one close location. It's not like Grand Lake where it's a long ways. The fishing is good. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's not won this year like it's typically won. Like the last two have been won, which is a bunch of smallmouth. I just don't see it happening again. I might be wrong, probably will be wrong, but the venue it's good. I mean, Knoxville is a really good host. They always set a lot of records there, and with attendance and stuff like that. So I'm sure the fishing will be good. You know, I probably won't catch a bass standing in the expo for 3 days. So, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, it is a good place. It's a good place to have it for sure. That not having to, it's hard to find a place that has everything that you need for a classic in one area, and that's one of the few places in the country that actually does.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I was in this meeting, but I was in a meeting once where, so first of all, if you have a classic in March, you take away a big part of the country on having a classic.
Yeah.
But I think that there's less than 10 locations that you can have a classic.
It's pretty slim.
Now, when I say locations, I mean cities.
Yeah.
You know, we can have one in Tulsa. There's a lot of places that we can go. Arkansas River, Fort Gibson, Tenkiller, Grand, a lot of the lakes out there by Tulsa. So there's a lot of different fishing venues. But as far as cities, there's not many cities that offer everything that you have to have for a classic. I mean, I don't even know how many hotel rooms that you have to have for a classic, but it's a bunch.
That's a lot. And the expo space
Yeah.
is big, is huge. You know, it's got to be 100,000 or more square foot, and it's just. What do you think about? Is there a chance, or would it be better if we had classics back in the summertime like we used to, or different times of the year, or do we need to have it the same time every year? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Fishing wise, I think that it doesn't really matter. You know, I think, you know, a summer tournament or a fall tournament like it used to be on the classic a long time ago, fishing's fishing. I mean, somebody's going to win. But I think as far as for the spectators, for the viewers, viewer numbers, all of that stuff. I think it's at the best time that it can be, because that's when everybody's most excited about the season. Fishing's getting started. Everybody's amped to go. Usually it's a little cooler up north, so a lot of people can't go up there. So it just kind of pulls everybody into one area, not only physically at the Classic, but everybody's watching. And so I think it is the best time. What surprises me is at the Classics is I've met husbands and wives, I've met families, and when I say I've met them, I mean, I'm talking like a lot, that they've been to 10, 5, 15, 20 Classics. Like every year they go to the Classic. That's their trip. That's what they do. So, and usually that Classic kind of coincides with spring break, so they can take their kids and stuff like that. So I think it is the best time. I mean, you're going to have that time, you're going to have bigger weights. But I mean, for me, I mean, personally, I would rather it be that way, because I think that anybody can win. You get in the summer and it gets a little bit tougher.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's answer another fishing question from Heath. He asks, when throwing crankbaits in the winter, do you work the bank parallel and work out to deeper water, or square bill shallow, rock crawler deeper? How do you go about deciding or determining?
So that's a good question. First of all, I'll tell you, no matter what bait it is, a fish wants to trap it. So let's just pretend here, if I'm sitting in 20 foot of water and I'm looking straight at the bank and this fish is in 10, and I make the same cast, if I throw and come over the top of him and go to deep water, versus making the cast where he can push it, closer to the bank, I think you catch more when they trap it to the bank. So anytime I can parallel, I try to. But I did a Facebook Live Tuesday, and I was throwing a Bandit 300, which runs 10 foot deep. And one of the first questions is why are you not paralleling the bank? And I'm like, I am paralleling the bank. I'm sitting in like 12. You know what I mean? Like I'm throwing way up there. So if I'm paralleling with a square bill, I may be on the bank. If I'm paralleling with the Bandit 300, I may be 15 foot off. So depending on your angle is probably the depth of your crankbait. Depending on the cover that you're fishing, if I'm fishing a flat, I'm going to be out a little bit. When I say out, I never, ever, ever throw a crankbait 90 degrees, and hardly ever 45 degrees. Most of the time it's way on down. But it all depends on the crankbait that you're throwing, and it depends on the bank that you're fishing. I mean, if I'm fishing a bluff, I tell the dude in the back, hey, you stand back there and don't let the boat hit the rocks. I'm not forward,
Yeah.
And good luck catching one. But yeah, it just depends. I mean, but yeah, it's and every bait, like they want to trap it. They don't want to chase it. They have a way better chance getting that bait, trapping it against the bottom as they do chasing it in deep water. Hopefully I answered his question.
Little juice.
He just said, awesome. Thank you. I wasn't even going to bring it up. Tonight.
Okay.
Good. Well, it's not.
But somebody else already did.
Yeah.
They asked the question.
Okay.
What do you think about the Chiefs this year?
So I'm not a giant Chiefs fan. My wife, she's in the house. That's why I can say that, because she's 100 yards over there. She's big. She grew up, in Missouri and lived in Kansas City and stuff like that. I just on the Chiefs, like it can only last so long. I mean, here's the thing, like the Chiefs, what, 15, me and Mercer was talking about this 15, 20 years ago, you just wanted the Chiefs to win a game.
Mm-hmm.
Then they win 2 Super Bowls and go to the next Super Bowl. And then now everybody's like, what's wrong with the Chiefs? Good night. I mean, they're probably tired of carrying their trophies around. Let them have a year or 2 off. So, I mean, everything has to, I mean, a dynasty is a dynasty for one reason. I mean, a run, same way in fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You have a run, it's going to end sometime. It just is. If you think it's not, then you are crazy. And that's the same way with them. I say end like it's over? Probably not. But the last thing I'll say about them is they have too good of a coach for them to never be good again.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, and look at it.
After Denver wins the Super Bowl this year, they'll be fine.
At the beginning of the year, it was injuries and injuries and injuries. So, and they have an injury now. So, that's one of the things, in sports is you have to stay healthy, and they haven't been able to do that this year. I like just watching a good football game. Like there's a good football game on tonight. So, I'll catch the second half of that. I just like watching a good football game.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah, you talk about some of your off-season prep, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I deal a lot with tendonitis in my elbow, really bad, off and on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that something you've ever dealt with? And what do you do during your off-season to stay fit?
Oh, good question. Yeah.
So to stay fit, I deer hunt. I mean, I'll say this, there's not a single, I don't go to the gym. I don't exercise, but there's not a single day that I wake up and I sit on the couch and watch TV all day. Like I might go to Colorado elk hunting for a week. I'm always doing something, whether it hanging deer stands. So I'm just busy. To answer your question, I have had that. I've had it twice. I had it, I don't know, about 10 years ago. I had it in my left arm, and it got so bad that I couldn't even hold the fishing rod. It was really, really bad. And luckily it just kind of healed itself. I went and got a shot, and that did not help me whatsoever. But recently I got it. What is the shot? 3 years. I got it 3 years ago, and I really got it on the northern swing of the Elite Series where we have to use this, or where I use a spinning rod a lot. And I got it in my right hand. Well, I made it through the season, and I thought, all right, I get to rest for 3 months. And during that 3 months, I built this shop. So I had a freaking screw gun or a hammer in my hand the whole time. And it was worse after building the shop than it was during the season. And my daughter, she's in the medical field, and we've kind of, I just started doing some exercises, stretching it, and she got me some crazy looking machine that actually would roll up my arm, and it would kind of roll the soreness out. I mean, I was embarrassed to even use it, but I did, and it got better fast. I haven't had it since then. So I do know that year, once I started fishing, I was a little worried about it, but it just seems like just the normal kind of fishing kind of worked it out. So it's not fun, and it's not good, and it's hard to do anything whenever you have it bad.
Yeah, I'm a mechanic by trade, and it's hard for me to even get rid of it, to be honest with you. But I just cringe when it comes to A-rig time on Grand.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was weird is it wasn't when I had it bad the last time in my right hand. It wasn't the big things that hurt it, like lifting or pushing or anything like that. It was the little fingertip movements, like the drill,
Mhm.
the hammer, I mean, just the fingertip stuff. This stuff, I could do anything, but it was the fingertip stuff, and especially running that drill.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're just a big wimp.
Yeah.
You can't even hardly lift a pop can,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember just like I'm a coffee drinker in the morning and just grabbing that coffee cup and just, yeah.
Very much so.
I think John's asleep again.
I think you did. Or
Oh,
maybe
man.
old boy called back again.
He is. He hasn't. He.
Well, if I'm running the business, I will sell him a room and I would up it like 200% and I would DoorDash some food. And
Yeah.
everything's taken care
The
of.
problem is he wants to go next door and play slots. And
Dang, this casino,
dang sure I can't help him with that.
the casino's not far from your place.
No, one of them isn't, but
You can't
the one at Grand Casino is called. There's a motel there right beside the Grand Casino called the Lodge at Grand Casino.
Oh yeah.
And so we get these calls, and I can usually tell most of them are from Missouri, and most of them are old ladies that sound like they smoke 10 packs of cigarettes a day. and I instantly know, and they're wanting to know what our stay and play rate is. And I'm like, sorry, ma'am, you got the wrong lodge. And most of them get it the first time and they say, sorry, I called the wrong number. But this guy, he really wants to stay and get a free plate of food deal. Uh-oh.
Oh,
I'll be back here.
you didn't have to leave.
Sorry.
It's probably one of his buddies calling him. Is who it is.
I was going to say, his name isn't Roy Mercer, is it?
It's not even a potential client. It's just somebody messing with him.
Probably is Mercer.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave.
Probably is Dave calling. What do you think about are the AOI standings going to be different this year?
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, as far as you're going to have some guys like me or a Hackney or somebody like that hopefully had an off year and they jump up there, but consistently, to answer your question, it's going to shift a little bit, but it's not going to be crazy. I mean, I know what you're getting down to is with the schedule being split as far as live scope or no, is it going to change? I don't think it really will, especially, with some of the new rules and stuff that we have. I think it's going to be similar. I really do.
I kind of think it will be too.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, there'll be some people that do take advantage of it a little bit.
Yeah.
You being one of them, and Hackney, I think, and
yeah,
that I think we'll have better years. I hope.
Yeah.
And we all hope. At least I do, anyway.
Yeah.
You have a special place with me because you were the last person to win the classic while I was at Bass.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you need to go back to Bass so I can win another classic.
You will need to talk to them about that. That is not my call.
This little, last year wasn't good. And I say last year, I meant 2024. it wasn't good. We had a lot of, people think they look at the standings and they think, oh, he didn't catch them. But they don't. Some people don't realize that we as anglers, we lead, or I do. I have a life outside of fishing. And 2024 was probably one of the most trying years as far as just personal life. And that is not an excuse, but fishing was not, or I shouldn't say, the Elite Series that year was not my priority. Family life was priority in 2024. And second to that was sponsorship. I mean, you do what you got to do for the sponsors. And, now I want to rewind, all of the good years. I'm not one to win money and go buy a new car or go buy this or go buy that, because I always knew throughout all of those years that this was gonna happen. I mean, like literally, you can ask my wife. I was like, at some point, we're gonna have an off year. In 2024, we did. And at the end of 2024, I was like, all right, we've kind of made it through hard times outside of fishing. Now it's time to focus and get back into the groove. And then, 25 was just one of those where no matter what I did, the harder I tried, I mean, it was just like somebody drowning. Is the more you pedaled, the deeper you got, I felt like. And 25, just nothing worked out. And whenever I was on the hot streak, I had multiple anglers in the Elite Series at the time call me that were in the bottom of the standings, and they're like, hey man, I always caught them, and I'm a year, or I'm 2 years in, and I'm not catching them. Give me some insight or something. And one of the things I always told them is, hey, the more you change things, the harder you try, the harder it's going to be to get out of that. Like, you just have to just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually it'll work itself out. And that, when I say keep doing what you're doing positively, I mean, keep preparing, keep doing that, keep working hard, but don't overthink it. Well, it's so easy to sit there and tell those guys that. And then like in 25, 3/4 through the season, I'm looking at myself, and you're overthinking it, and you're, you get a fish on, and it comes off, and it just, it snowballs. So, good thing is, the Elite Series is kind of like basketball and coaching. The season's over, and we get to start anew, and we start off fresh. Everybody's the same. So, yeah, it's so hard. It's so easy when you got the momentum going to keep it going. And it's so hard whenever you I don't want to say lose it, but you just have a little hiccup there, and it's so hard to get back into it. And I'm a firm believer that the more, I'm going to get up an hour earlier this morning and be at the lake, I'm going to be the first one in. You start changing things and you overthink it. No, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And, it has nothing to do with live scope or, anything else. I've won a lot of money with live scope. It's just that it's just, we've had a little hiccup, and we're going to get back on track, hopefully. So,
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking at the AOY, points.
I'm leading right now.
You are leading.
So is 100 other guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. all fresh, all new,
Yeah.
all fresh. That was going to be my question. My next question was, how do you get out of it? But you just explained it all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you just
No,
keep doing-
I'm going to keep my same routine, and I work hard. I work hard, but I maintain. There's a happy medium between fishing and life and filming and, taking care of our business. There's my life, there's my business, and then there's the Bassmaster Elite Series. And I have to take care of all three of those, starting number one with the family. And then you have sponsorship stuff, sponsors and all that kind of stuff. I'm more involved now, just with development of everything, baits and, the reels and all. It's used to, I didn't get a phone call during deer season. Everybody knew that, like, don't call him, he's in deer stand. And every day now I get a phone call about something. But I like that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do that good on the Elite Series last year, but still, like, my phone is ringing and ringing and ringing. So, that's a good sign. But no, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and the whole thing is before the season, like those. That's why I take 4 weeks. Is in those 4 weeks, I've got to, every year, and this has been 15, 20 years ago, you got to gain confidence before the season starts. And that's what I'll do. If I got to go drain my pool and put a bunch of bass in my pool to catch them, I will figure out a way to catch them before the Elite Series starts.
do you have a team? Are you part of a team? Like, you see some of these guys have 4 guys that are rooming together and they share a lot. They share a lot of stuff. It seems to be working for some people, and some people it doesn't. Or
Yeah.
which camp are you in?
No, I'm not a part of that. I've been doing this 20 years, almost 20. And, the first 8 or 10, I ran with Edwin, and we had a very, what do I kind of say, like, we talked, but we didn't, I'll give you an example. Was it, with us talking, is it easy? Like 15 bites, 10 bites. That was it. That was, and some days it'd be like, kind of shallow, kind of deep. That was it. And then there was a span of MLF where we couldn't talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the first few years back at the Elite Series, I stayed by myself. And now I stay with Gussie. And I really, really like staying with Gussie for 2 reasons. I'm going to start with my wife first. My wife and Gussie's wife are really good friends. They just take care of us. They go do their deal during the day, and we get home and they have dinner ready, and not only, not just dinner. It's just a nice place to come home. But Gussie is, we're as different fishing styles as you can be. So we probably talk more than I ever have, but we're so different that it really doesn't matter. He's really good to just bounce stuff, off of. Is it easy? Is it not? Is it going to take 25 or is it going to take 20? But no, we don't. I don't share. I'm not one of those dudes that you see on the lake that is like this all day long.
So yeah, do you think so with Gussie, because your styles are so different, is it easier for you to, maybe share what happened to you today, because he's not going to go do that probably?
Yeah. Well, I'm not even worried about him doing that. Like, I tell him everything and he tells me everything. But when I say that, I don't ask him everything and he doesn't ask me everything. You know, I mean, literally we get in, we might have a 2-minute conversation before dinner and that's it. Like, is it, get a lot of bites? Was it muddy where you were at? I mean, that way I can mark off that section of the lake. It's not what you think. Like, we're not sitting there at 10 o'clock with a map looking at that. And this actually happened at the Knoxville Classic that he won. He told me when practice was over, he said, I got 2 places. And he said, both of them are loaded. And I was just like, and he's like, do you need one of them? I'm like, no, I'm not going to, this is the Classic. Like, you need to go. No, I'm not going to do that. But that's what kind of person he is. Like, if he had 2 places, if he had 1 place, he would let me fish there. But I don't do that.
Yeah.
And nor does he. So that's why we get along so good.
That's how I am with Kyle, but he's not that way with me.
Yeah. 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 And I think if you talk to Gussie, like, it just, we have a happy house. I mean, even if the tournament doesn't work out, then we still have our wives are happy. So it makes for a happy house. So one of the things that is pretty cool that probably not a lot of people know is, we get an Airbnb or a VRBO or something like that. And this kind of makes it a little entertaining. So in all these houses, you have a master bedroom, and then typically you have a couple of kids' rooms.
Yeah.
Well, so when you get to a house, who stays in the master bedroom?
Whoever gets there first, I guess.
That's not how we do business.
Whoever finished highest the last event.
That's it.
There you go.
So whoever finishes highest in the previous event gets to pick where they stay in the next house.
How tall is Jeff?
He's not small. He's 6'1", probably maybe 6'2".
And how tall are you?
6'3".
So both you guys look real goofy in a twin bed, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. We stay in a house at Thousand Islands. We stayed in it a couple of times, and it's a small, attic house, and there's like a queen bed in one room, and the other room is 2 twin beds. And I'm telling you, you look at the schedule, and before you get to that event, you're like, I'm going to freaking beat him. I don't want. I mean, typically our houses, even the second and the third room are pretty nice, so it's not a big deal. But with your wives, the master bedroom usually has a bathroom and stuff. So that's the thing is. And I think that we get to pick first. If we'll have to go back and look at tournament results, but I think I get to pick first. And
so can you text me the houses that you are really wanting to finish highest at the previous tournament, so that we know that we need to pick Gussie and Christie on our fantasy teams for this tournament before Thousand Islands, because we know you guys are going to be going all out because of the house situation.
Yeah, we're actually going back to Thousand Islands this year, and we switched houses. I told my wife and Gussie's wife, they were like, we might need to switch, because not only we have 2 dogs and just overall the house is really small. So it's nice and it's in a great location, but it was small. So yeah, I mean, we stay the places we stay. We don't stay at the nicest, but we don't stay. We kind of stay in the middle. So they're nice. But there's just every house has a master bedroom, so
Mm-hmm.
that's where you want to be at.
Yep, absolutely.
I would be crazy not to ask you this. I got to be a little bit ornery, Jason. I apologize. You don't know me very well, so. But you said you roomed with Edwin for a number of years. Did you room with him when he put 31 up on you at the Classic at Grand?
Put 29 up.
29.
Yeah.
Were
Get
you
your
rooming
facts.
with him then?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys didn't know that you were going to be swapping punches in that day, did you?
So that was the only rule that we had is, we both know how important the Classic is. We stayed together through the season, but we didn't stay together at the Classic.
Okay.
And we typically didn't talk at the Classic. I know that we had both, before the Grand Lake, had decided that it was probably best to not talk at that event. So
were you running around in a Rayovac boat that year, or was that when Cliff won then in a couple years prior?
that was when Cliff won.
Okay. I remember following you a little bit in the year that the year that you were in the Rayovac boat, and the year that you were crushing them on a spinnerbait. And what I was getting at, the first year when I followed you, I was like, who is this guy running around this Rayovac boat
Yeah.
jerking brush piles? And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There was some really cool stuff that I noticed you were doing, and I'm nobody special on Grand Lake whatsoever, but I saw you in a couple of areas, and I was like, well, maybe I do have the right idea on a jerkbait deal once in a while.
Yeah. The one that Cliff won was my first Classic. And I did not know what I was getting into. Edwin actually kind of gave me a heads up in that event. He's like, you better be ready. Like, there's going to be a lot of people. So I remember taking off in Wolf Creek, and when I took off, I kind of looked around and I just kind of went in with the motto, hey, keep the hood up, don't make eye contact, and just fish.
You were definitely zoned in.
Yeah. Well, I made that, and it was one of those events that I thought I could catch them if it were. I was like, I might catch them, but might not catch them too. It's one of those, just if I get the right bites. If I get bites, they're going to be the right ones. Well, I ran down and started on that bluff end. Everybody knows where I started. And
yeah, when
I took off out of Wolf Creek, I looked back and there's only 5 or 6 boats following me. I was like, he's full of it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. When I pull into that bluff end, like I nose in, and like the third cast, I'm jerking and I catch a 5-pounder, and I grab it and I turn around to show my 4 or 5 boats, and I look and there's like 20 to 25. And that's when I was just like, and then it would go, and they got bigger and bigger. But the thing about that Classic is, what's funny is I won 3 BFLs in a row up there in the spring, 3 years in a row. And most of those, I know 2 of the 3, I caught in a very small area. Well, whenever we went to that first Classic up there, it was like, oh, these guys are coming into town. It's like, I need to be super smart. We talked earlier about overthinking things. I need to do this. I need to do that. But there was a point in particular where I've made a lot of money over the years up there. Team tournaments, boats, BFLs. I went there the first day about 12 o'clock to fish it, and Cliff is sitting there. I never got to fish it, and that's where Cliff won the tournament. It's funny. It's just like it's all of that happened, and then but I wasn't in the, I didn't know. I was in that first classic. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I hate to kind of say this, but I wanted to win, but I really just, it was like, man, I just need a good finish because, these guys are really good. And I didn't really understand it all then to go for it. The next classic, whenever Edwin Wood won, I knew to go for it. I'd fished 2 or 3 by then and had a chance to win a couple of them. I knew to go for it, and I knew what I was doing. I was going for it. That's an event where, I've said this a lot, is that classic doesn't hurt my feelings as bad as the Hartwell one, because he just beat me. I mean, dude, I've fished Grand Lake 1,000,000 times in March, and I can count on one hand how many bags have come in over 25 pounds that's beat me. It just doesn't happen. And for him to do that is crazy. I caught 22 or something like that the first day, 20 or something the second day. And I'll bet my life that the last day, if I decide to go catch 20, I catch 20 the last day. But if I do that, I still lose. So, he just caught it. If you're 15 years old and you're dreaming about winning the classic, that's how you want to do it, is come back and catch 29 pounds on the last day. So yeah, he just beat me, and there wasn't anything to do with it. What the funny thing about that is, whenever I found out that he had a big bag from the Spectator, the second day of practice in that event, I caught 35 pounds. But the problem with that is I caught 35 pounds, and and all 5 of those fish came on different places. On Grand, some of these big ones, 6, 7, 8 pounders, like they get in places where you may only catch one. And that second day of practice, I ran some of that stuff. Well, I caught 5 of them, and they weighed 35 pounds. There was a dude that filmed me catching a 9. I call it the Pink House. I don't even know the name of the creek. But so when I knew he had a big bag, I'm like, the only way I can catch 25 to 27 is to start running single fish, big fish places. And that's what I did. And I didn't catch them, but at least I got the opportunity to try to catch them. I would rather do that as I would go catch my 20 and get beat by 3 pounds and not know that, man, you should have ran your single stuff. So anyway, yeah, he beat me. And
I just like, man, I got Jason Christie on a podcast. I hate the fact that it happened. I really do. And that's no offense to Edwin. His roots run deep, just as deep as yours do at Grand and stuff. I used to live down there a little bit when I was going to tech school, and his father-in-law stayed in a camper at a boat ramp, just 100 yards down from it. And they're good people. I was in shock. And my comments about the first classic to you, it was cold.
Yeah.
It was cold. Some of the stuff, the jerkbait stuff that you guys were doing was just freaking me out. Van Dam looked like he had Tourette's in Honey Creek when he was throwing his jerkbait.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, and that's obviously, we put it at the back of Honey, and we're coming out of Honey, and then that's kind of, run into you in that area, I was like, man, he's throwing his jerkbait kind of sort of the same way. And I was like, my mind was blown, to be honest with you, because it was cold.
Yeah.
The water was cold.
Yeah.
Just cool stuff.
It was just a lot of fishing time up there that, you know, we didn't have live scope then. And it's funny now that we have live scope, I think back to then, like, you know, my goal was to get that, you know, was to get that bait close to that brush pile or close to whatever I'm fishing, rock, corner of a dock, whatever it might be. And literally imagine that fish being back there, you know, and do the little jerk that makes the rogue do the quarter turn. I mean, like, and then speed it up. And and now you think of a fish like coming out of a brush pile on live scope, it's the same thing. Like the last thing you want to do is just let it sit there. So I know what you're talking about. And, you know, going back to the classic, I don't know what would be cooler. And I don't know that I've ever said this. So say the first Grand Lake or the one that Edwin works out, the first one at Hartwell works out, and then the next one at Hartwell works out. So that could be 3 classics. I don't know that I would rather have that as what I have, because for me, it happened just the way it was supposed to. Like, you know, the first classic like I was the favorite, and like I got a lot of the attention and stuff. And then whenever Edwin beat me, like I feel like that's where the bulk of my following came from. It's like they were wanting me to win. They were wanting me to win. I mean, Edwin's bunch didn't want me to win, but a lot of people were. And then it happened again at Hartwell. And it's just like I had this following that's just like almost like, golly, like a sympathy following. Like, but anyway, in losing these, like I felt like I gained a lot of people's trust.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then it can happen no better way. I mean, I leave Bass and I come back to Bass. It goes back to Hartwell, and then it comes down to ounces. Like I got goosebumps right now telling you that. Like, I would rather have my one classic and have it happen the way that it happened, and not only for the spectators, but for me, because it's like chasing that deer behind me. Like I spent the first 10 years of the Elite Series, that's all I thought about. I'd be fishing at Dardanelle or wherever I was fishing. I wasn't thinking about the tournament. I was thinking about I need to get this many points to get the classic, so I can have a chance to win that event. And so I'm not disappointed at all. I mean, would it be cool to have 2 or 3 or 4? Absolutely. But I really, really like the story and what it did to me in chasing that. Like, it was fun for 10 years chasing that. It was like that deer. I had a lot of encounters and was so close, but that small, probably the 125-inch deer is the smallest one up there, and he's the most important.
Well, you know, something that I do in the late winter, early spring, you know, I'm not as fortunate as John. I don't live 5 minutes from the lake, but I fish team tournaments on Grand Lake all year long, you know, and something I do quite a bit is just rewatch videos and footage of tournaments at Grand, and just kind of to just get myself jacked a little bit. And, you know, over and over again, I see the footage of you and you're idling under Sailboat Bridge and Robbie Floyd's in your boat, and I can, you know, the emotions, and, you know, you could just tell that if you didn't get it done that tournament, it was going to happen at some point. I mean, we could just see that, you know, so
yeah,
pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story on the and I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but he lives pretty close to Mr. John there. He's a really good friend of mine, and he's almost, I mean, I know that he thinks of me as a son, but it meant a lot for him for me to fish on Grand there. But anyway, he was my driver from Wolf Creek to Tulsa each day when Edwin won. So he asked me before the event started, is there anything that you need? And I was like, man, I just need, I'm not going to ask you, but it would be really, really nice if I can fish. Just help me. I'm not going to ask you of anything, but it would be really nice if the boats didn't get on me, you know? So the first day, it kind of went all right. There wasn't that many. And I actually have the video somewhere of this. But the second day, we get in the boat, or we get in the truck, and I literally sat down in the truck and my door's open and a guy's talking to me. And when I closed the door, I turned to him and I'm like, what in the beep are you like? And he noses up on me and he's like, do you realize how many people like is out there? And we kind of went nose to nose in the truck there. You know, and he's not like policing or anything, but you know, it would be nice to, but anyway, we kind of went face to face there, and he's like, there was 119 boats in that pocket over by the flashing light. I don't know the names. It's funny how much I fish on Grand. I don't know the names of anything other than Wolf Creek, but in the flashing light pocket, he's like, there was 119 boats in there. And he's got a video of all of them. Like when I go around to the next spot, he's got a video of all of them coming out. And, but yeah, we were nose to nose in the truck there. And it was just me being frustrated, you know, with that.
You said a couple things in those stories you just told. One, you said a couple times about going for it. So what is different between the classic as a fisherman? What is different between the classic and an elite event? Or
that's my problem, is most of these guys will say I'm on a, you know, the elite series is for points and this, and then the classic, you go for it. Gosh, I go for it every time. Every single time. And that's why I think, like, you know, 2013 to 2020, like you would see really good finishes and then you would see a 75 and then back up. And then, you know, the next year, I think when I finished second angler of the year, I still had an 80th or 90th place finish. Like every time, if I know I can catch 15 pounds going this way, but there's a 40% chance that I'm going to catch 22 going that way, but I'm at zero, I'm just that way. I'm the same way when I go fish the jackpot out here on 10 Killer. Like I think that was from growing up. That was Paul Smith, Wayne Diffie, all those guys on Grand Lake, where we fish for boats, and you know, first place would be 20,000, 25,000. Second place would be $200 and 2 Cokes and a free fishing rod. You went for it every time, and I don't know. That's how I've always been, and I'm not sitting here. You know, there's probably somebody, he's just making excuses for the times he doesn't catch them. It's not really. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. Like if I have a hunch, and I really don't think that, you know, we go to some lakes that, you know, everybody's doing the same thing, or a lot of people are in the monkey box. You know, everybody's on the North Shore, Okeechobee. You know, that I'll go to the south end because I don't want to be around that, because it's not that I don't want to be around that, but my chances of fishing around 70 boats, that's 1 in 70 of winning. My chances are better to go find something else, and something that's maybe materializing that's going to work out during the event. So I've always been that way. But to answer your question, I treat it no differently, but especially the classic. Like when you go to the classic, you have to not be scared to drive your truck and boat. When I look this way, I'm looking at my truck and boat. You have to not be scared to drive your truck and boat in front of thousands of people, your family, your friends, your sponsors, and not have a bass to win that event. If you're the first thing that you think of when you take off that morning is, gosh, I just want to catch one, or I want to catch 5 so I can go across the stage so I can have some fish. I care nothing about that. Like it's, I don't care anything about it. I've lost big leads a couple of times, and yeah, it hurts for a little bit, but it's part of it.
Are you
10 cup. My wife and I, we've decided that at some point we are going to wrap the boat in 10 cup. You know what 10 cup the movie is?
Yeah.
That is me 1000%. I would rather go down and lose every golf ball I have as to finish second.
So
I love the mentality. I love the mentality.
yep. So classic, this argument that anglers talk about, classic versus AOY.
Mm-hmm.
What do you?
I mean, obviously, I've won a classic. The classic, to me, is Angler of the Year. I told Edwin this the first year we started. I don't know that I would ever win that. It's just not the way that I fish. Everybody's different. I just, like I said, I always have a couple of bad ones during the season, even whenever I have a great season. But that doesn't take anything away from that. I would love to win that. I think that's a really, really big deal. But I want to, you hear everybody say when they talk about Angler of the Year, that's about the whole season. That's the best angler the entire season. And I agree 100% with that. But I think the classic is a week, and it's just all compiled into 1 week there. And I think that every single person, not only in the country, but in the world that knows what bass fishing is watching that week. So that is a really, really good time to shine.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good time to let your personality come out on TV to gain those followers and those fans and stuff like that. So, and I don't know if it's just my sports thing, my sports background, but it is freaking cool to roll through the arena when that son of a gun's packed and you got some fish in the live well. No, you take every basketball shot that I've ever made in a game, and then I think about that ride whenever we were at Hartwell, in the crowd, and just the way it went down, like with Bass Track, Bass Track had me at 13 pounds, and that was not intentional. And I wouldn't have, I love that. That's part of going back to that story. They counted me out again. And I didn't know that I'd won. I knew it was going to be close, but Jake just didn't have time to enter him in the last hour because we were running hot the last hour. So, that I wouldn't have it any other way.
I was nervous. I would have it differently. I would prefer for Bass Track to stay up to date.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm a dude that thinks that that Bass Track should go off at 10 or 12. So I want to do the little sponsor plug real quick. You can probably just see the corner right there. So we started a series on YouTube that actually released tonight called the Brown Recliner series. So what that is me sitting in that brown recliner and telling stories like this. So one of the stories that we did in this release of these events was what happened at the classic that I won and the classic that I lost at Hartwell. Well, when I get in from that, the last day, we're idling. I check in, we're idling at the dock, and Jake's like, "What do you think you got?" I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "Well, Bass Track's got you at 13 pounds. He said, "I didn't have time to enter those last 2 or 3. And I was like, he can't say anything. He knows that. And I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, I know I probably got 16, but I could have more than that. I haven't looked at them anyway. I start kind of getting interested. Well, I get in the truck, and it's funny that the year that I lose, they roll a camera live from Hartwell to the weigh-in. But the year that I win, it's just me driving, which is a long drive. But when I get in the truck, I'm like, you know what? My wife, my kids, my parents, everybody else, they all think I have 13 pounds. Like they're just deja vu for them. So I text my wife before I leave the parking lot. I'm not driving. I text my wife. I'm like, hey, Bass Track's not right. I got more than that. I don't know that I'm going to win, but it's going to be close. Just be prepared. The text was like that long. I got ready to hit send, and I was like, nah, let's not send that. And I did. And it's like my wife, like my mom is 100% my biggest fan. But they're sitting in the family section, and my mom kind of gives everybody like a little speech. Hey, Stetson's probably going to win. Let's all be prepared. He tried hard. He did his best, but I mean, she did that. And the one thing that we didn't have in that classic that I wish we would have is, and I think this should be mandatory. I think there should be a camera on the family of the dude, on all the families. So when it comes down to 2 or 3, there should be, because I would love to see the reaction of my family whenever they thought that I had lost, they thought I had 13 pounds. So I know I can just picture what happened, but I would love to see that. I mean, I've gotten videos over the years of, like buddies that's sitting there and watching TV, and they freaking jump and run around and stuff like that. So it's just, I could talk about that all night long.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining as hell, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it was a lot. I'll never forget it. Especially to do it with Jake again. Jake was there when it wasn't good, and Jake was there when it was good. There's a video of him finding me after I won, and us sharing that moment. And it's a team. I know it's not supposed to be. I'm not saying team like he helped me or I did, but he's rooting for me, and I can feel it when I catch one. And I get kind of jealous though when I watch Bass Live and he's in somebody else's boat, and I can feel the same thing for that dude, So, but no, he's a good dude, and I love it that we're back in the boat again, and we're able to pull it off.
Very cool stories.
Yeah. That's what the Brown Recliner is about. We roll out some good stuff.
So you said you dropped that tonight. So tell us a little more about it. When is it going to be dropped at the same time each week, or how are you doing it?
It's going to be a series. We're doing kind of a test series. We kind of thought about the podcast deal, and I was just like, there's just a lot of people doing that. Nothing against this deal, but
this is hot. Hey, this podcast here, right up there with Mercer. I'm telling you. I know you don't know about that, and really nobody else does either.
Yeah,
but we're like underground.
We just, for one, if you do this, you have to coordinate 3 guys' schedules, and you have to produce it and all that. I wanted something that my cameraman we could do in the shop on a rainy day. So yeah, we just sat in the Brown Recliner, and I think we released 6 episodes tonight, we'll probably do another 6 and just see. If nobody watches it, we ain't going to do it anymore. If they watch it, then we'll keep doing it. But, you know, in the 6 episodes, so in the first episode, I go through the story of my uncle in a tournament caught a 10.29 on 10 killer exactly 30 years ago. Everything about that. The second one was pretty cool. My dad and I, in September, the biggest bag I ever caught on 10 killer, it was like 26 or 27 pounds. And 10 killer, like when I talk about a 10 pounder and 26 pounds, that's like beaver, you know, catching a 10 pounder and 20. I mean, it's just, you don't see it very often. And then we talk about the classic that I lost, the classic that I won. One is talking about the BFLs on Grand.
Cool.
Just in, you know, all of these are target time of 10 to 15 minutes. Like, yeah, there was a little run there. And it mainly, I think, talks about the last one where I drew a dude and, you know, I'm fishing, I'm just fishing. And I had a really, really good practice. I actually caught a 10 pounder practicing for that event up there, flipped it out of a willow tree. And at 12 o'clock,
Come on.
yeah, at 12 o'clock, straight up 12 o'clock, I looked at my watch like we hadn't said a word. And I hear him say, not going to be 3 in a row or something like that. Cause I'd won the previous 2 March events. And, I turned to him.
Uh-oh.
But
We're not.
Yeah, it's not going to be 3 in a row. And I was like, I mean, honestly, at 12 o'clock, you don't have a bass, you know? I was like, yeah, you're probably right. At 1 o'clock, I called a 4 pounder. And I, you know what? I drove it home, son. Like from 1 to 3 o'clock, I didn't care if I could have had 49.27 and I still would have been running and gunning. So, yeah, that we kind of talk about that kind of stuff. So, just this old school stuff, you know, and we're going to get in maybe some just like, I don't know, some tips, some little tricks and stuff about that. I don't know what it might be. The YouTube is mainly teaching stuff. Like we're not about entertainment. We're about hardcore teaching, just the channel. So I don't know how much we're going to do of that in the brown recliner, but we might just, you know, grab a spinnerbait one night and just a single spinnerbait. And just, I mean, I could talk for an hour about a single spinnerbait, about where all of the, you know, how many stories and how many fishing trips that it took for us to put that spinnerbait on the market.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Jason Christie YouTube stuff that's just 10 or 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
I mean, your A-rig video, 10 or 15 minutes, straight and to the point.
Yeah.
Good quality. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I also like the idea of sitting in the chair and, you know, talking about some of your team tournaments that you used to fish and
Yeah.
There's some Bookies and the Paul Smiths that are still cashing checks on Grand or whatever you come up with. That's cool.
Yeah. And that's, you know, it's funny because, you know, we're filming it and I literally, so on that wall over there below the deer heads, especially down towards that side is like the team events, a lot of the trophies and stuff. But I would just pace the wall looking for something to kind of trigger a story because there's a bunch of them. But I want stories and stuff that guys can relate to that would make them learn something or become a better fisherman or whatever. Yeah, I just pace for like 5, 10, 15 minutes. And the camera guy, he sat over here, he's all set up. He's like, I'm waiting. And literally I just go in the office there and I grab a bait and I'm like, I'm ready to go. Let's do this one. So,
very cool.
Yeah. And the cool thing about all of that is 90% of the stories, like the team event stories, happen with either my dad or my uncles or my mom. You know, I mean, I got to fish a year with my mom, only 1 year because my dad had to work, and that was a lot of fun. So she's
Sure.
competing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Danny, you've been patiently waiting.
I'm just literally sitting here going, everything I think of, he's answering. Maybe a totally different direction. And that's kind of my job. That's my shtick
Yeah.
on the show.
Mr. Bigfoot.
Mr. Bigfoot. Do you ever think about coaching?
Absolutely 100% no. No.
I understand that.
No, at the time I enjoyed it, but it got to be, as a coach, I coached for 9.5 years. And I can say the salary, it's public, you know, teacher doesn't make much, 35 to 45,000. I mean, I was coaching, I was doing morning duty, I was wiping kids' noses for little incentive money to get to whatever I was getting to. So I made most of my money fishing, even when I was coaching through team tournaments and BFLs and stuff. But it got, you know, where I couldn't do anything else around here. I'm not gonna say I was tired of, you know, the Grand Lake tournaments and stuff, but I needed something else. And when I started, you know, expanding out a little bit, the Strand series, and that's what it was called back then, they weren't getting my full attention, and fishing wasn't getting my full attention. So I had to make a decision. And luckily I made the right one. But no, I think the only regret I have is I would like to have coached my kids. I say that, but I think my oldest was 4th or 5th grade whenever I started fishing, maybe 6th or 7th grade. We are both, my kids and me, I don't know that we could have lived in the same house if I would have been coaching them. You know, I probably would have been flipping tables at supper because she didn't cross over in the lane when she was supposed to, or whatever it might be. And I regret that. Like, I don't know if it would have worked out, but I would love to have coached my kids. But also, I think that it would better family-wise that I probably didn't. But I don't miss it. You know, I'm doing the same thing. I feel like I'm coaching. I film a show every year. I mean, every week we release a video trying to teach people how to catch more bass. So I feel like I'm still coaching. I'm just not coaching sports, basketball.
Good answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You got anything else, Danny? One question?
You're like a waitress, man.
Me?
You wait until I'm taking a big gulp to ask me, is there anything else I can bring you?
Go ahead.
I gotta ask you that we have one constant question with everybody, and I just since you're alluding to the fact that you travel with your wife, you guys all Airbnb and stuff, driving down the interstate, you see the billboard, it's your favorite place, you got to stop there, restaurant, snack bar, or whatever. Where are you stopping?
We don't stop.
God bless you.
We have
I'm the same way.
So my wife is this is our routine. Like, most places we go, we can drive in a day. Hardly ever, unless it's New York, do we stay the night on the road. But we try to leave. I say this, I want to arrive at 3 to 4 So they can get groceries. I can like double check everything and get some rest before bedtime. But if we do stop, it is either because she's gluten free. Jersey Mike's, which is my second. Actually, it's my least favorite. It's our second. Firehouse is our favorite. That's like if there's a firehouse, that's where we stop. But we stop at the store. It's to get gas and for her to go to the bathroom. And I'm gonna tell you what, when I stop and I start filling the gas up, if she's not back in the truck from going to the bathroom, then she's gonna have to catch a ride to the next gas station. So we're moving pretty quick. But she eats on a schedule, which makes it good for me. But yeah, that's our three: Firehouse, Jersey Mike's, and there's another sandwich place. I can't even think of the name of it. That's where we stop. The only time I ever get to stop at like a Wendy's or something is after the event. Like especially if it's a terrible event, like I just want to eat French fries and a hamburger. Yeah. But we really don't stop. And I got people that reach out. It's like, hey, stop here and let's go to. I want to get there, and especially when it's over, like I can't get home fast enough. I may stop at a sponsor event or something like that, but it's getting there and getting back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, I mean, we enjoyed having you. Do you have any sponsor plugs or new sponsors or anything you want to get in there before we go? And
No.
you talked about your YouTube, but give us your socials. And
no, I think everybody watching this probably knows all of that. My sponsors are good enough that
and they're in the comments.
Yeah, I don't think I have to plug them. They kind of speak for themselves. No, I really don't have anything. I'm looking forward. I'm doing something tomorrow night that really excited about. So every year we do something, my wife and I, and it varies every year for Christmas for somebody, family or something, Mm-hmm. So tomorrow night I'm picking these. There's 3 kids. One is an only child. The other 2 are siblings. But I'm going to take them to Tulsa. We're going to go out to eat, and then I'm going to take them on a shopping spree at Shields.
Awesome.
So I'm actually, and that's the thing is, and you guys are probably the only ones I've told that know about it other than my wife. And everybody's like, well, that's cool. You're doing it for them. It's not for them. You know what I mean? Because when you do stuff like that, especially tomorrow night, like I'm selfish. That's for me because it makes me feel 100 times better. But I asked one kid, he was already chosen, but I told him he had to pass a test before he could go. And number one, because could he keep a secret? He's just like, yeah, I can keep a secret. And so he kept his secret, but did he make good grades? Did he try hard? Is he a good person? All that kind of stuff. But I said, what would you think about going shopping? He's like, I would love to. And I said, well, tell me one thing right now. And this kid's in the 5th grade. I said, tell me one thing right now that you would just gotta have. If you just have one. He's like, man, I mean, before I even get that sentence out of my mouth, he's like, I gotta have a new bait caster. I'm like, all right. I said, that works. I said, well, the cool thing is I get to go shopping with you. So I said, I know exactly where the reels are at Shields. So whenever we're shopping, that if I go shopping with you, you got this bait caster, this. I said, which one are you going to pick? And he had the perfect answer. He said, I'm going to pick the one that's got your name on it. So, no, I can't wait. It's, we take things for granted sometimes and you know, just, I mean, not even the shopping spree, just taking these kids out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many kids there's some kids that haven't, you know, we do it once a week. There's some kids that haven't got to do that.
Yeah.
Ever. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, tomorrow's a good day.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thanks for your time.
Appreciate you being on.
You bet.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. If you're up in the Grand area on January 3rd, I may or may not be putting on a little jackpot.
Where do the jackpots go out of there now?
Wolf Creek.
God, that's a long run. Why don't you guys go out of the dam?
That's a long
Shangri-La.
drive down there.
Shangri-La, at least.
You know, I would love to fish jackpots up there. I would love to fish up there more. It's just one of those, like, I don't know how it happens, but I used to be able to leave my house and be there in exactly an hour, and I cannot get there now in less than an hour and a half. I just can't do it. And I've moved a little bit further out, but it just makes for a long day. And I don't want to stay the night. Like I got a buddy that let me sleep in his, I mean, he everything, but he's on, what's the peninsula there in the middle? Monkey Island, which is 2 hours there. So
Yeah.
I wish it was a little bit closer because I would fish up there a lot. And it's weird. I don't fish up there near as much as I used to, but I love
the Nichols and the Future Bass. They don't need any more teams in there. So
yeah. Yeah. So when the jackpot is, do they have like a weekly jackpot?
Guys have been asking me to do one for through the winter.
Yeah.
And I'm kicking it around. I may do it. But we are gonna, I think Kojak and Micah are doing one on the 1st, unless they decided not to do it. But last I heard, they were doing one on the 1st, and then
that's the Podunkers.
no, it's just them doing it.
Oh,
It's not Podunkers. It's just them. And then I'm gonna do one the 3rd, which is Saturday. And then Brandon's trying to get me to do one every week, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. I probably could.
Yeah. If you do one every week, are you the 8 to 3 kind of jackpot doer, or are you the 10 to 4?
No, I'm a 8 to 3 or 8 to, you know.
Yeah. If I go fishing, I want to start early and I want to feel like I fished a day, not from 10 to 4.
This one we're doing on, and I'm saying this on this podcast. We don't know how many people are watching, but I'm hoping a bunch of people are watching. And we haven't even put out the flyer or anything, but my plan is to do 7:30 to 3:30 on the 3rd. Put in where you want to put in at. Start fishing at 7:30. And then you got to be back at Wolf Creek. We'll weigh fish between 3:30 and 4-ish, and then we'll give some money away.
so you're going to run the jackpot similar to how Future Bass does his?
Yes, pretty much how Future Bass does theirs. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't be surprised.
Okay.
That's
I like
another hammer.
I like the full day. I like the full day of fishing. Like if I get up and I use a Saturday, I want to fish. I want to fish a full day. I don't want to fish 10 to 4. And here's the thing is, I don't care what anybody says, 7:30, I can catch more bass between 7:30 and 10 o'clock as I can from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So I'd rather have that first couple hours of fishing anyway. I don't care if I can't feel my fingers. I'd rather be catching some bass.
That's what makes you a pro, Jason, because it takes me from 7:30 to 3:30 to catch 5. And I'll catch number 5 at 3:25.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. If we don't see you before then, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jason.
You bet. See you guys.
Awesome.
See ya.
Good luck, man.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Great show.
That I knew it was going to be a good one. But I had no idea. You know, this isn't difficult. You just let people tell about themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what sets us apart from a lot of shows that just hammer people.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful that he's just considering fishing a jackpot and not like an entire series next spring. So,
Yeah, I probably just screwed up my numbers for the jackpot.
I feel like I was in the check line until maybe he starts fishing. He just boots me down another spot. So, bad gummit.
Yeah, that
would
was
have won, but Jason Christie was there.
Yeah.
What a good problem to have, Jeff.
Yeah, I guess if you got to take second, it may as well be to him, right?
Yeah, why not?
Mhm. Yep. Absolutely.
Weather holds out. I'll be down there for that one. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that's what I'm really kind of waiting on for is the 10-day forecast. So we got a couple days to go yet before we hit that. But because right now Christmas week looks fantastic. I mean, the week after, it's going to be 75. It's going to be 77 on
even
on the
here,
day after Christmas.
Even here it's
76
pushing
on
70 on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
The old batteries will be charged and
The first is 59, so looking pretty good.
I can guarantee you there'll be some crappie caught during that 4 or 5 days there sometime or another.
I got to get my boat fixed before I can put it in the water. I told you about the live well pump out hose, right?
Yeah.
Or the valve chrome part on the back. So I get the part in, I put it together, I'm feeding it through to find the hole to put it in, and I hear this snap, and I'm like, that didn't sound good. And so I kind of wiggle the other hose. There's 3 pump out ports. So I wiggle that other hose and it's loose too. So I pull on it and it's busted. And I wiggle the other hose, the 3rd hose, and it feels like it's loose. So I pull on it and it's busted. So all 3 of my pump out hoses, I can't put it in the water because if I pump the live well or I get water in there and it starts pumping, it's going to pump water. It's not going to go out the hole. It's going to pump in the boat.
Well, just pump it in the boat and then turn your bilge on.
The bilge pumps. That's what I'm saying. The hose.
Even the bilge hose is bad.
All 3 of those pump out ports, 2 of them are bilge and 1 is live well.
Oh, okay. All right.
So all 3 of my hoses are inside the boat now. So I can't use my bilge.
Ah,
So I ordered 2 more and hope I can't go until they come in.
I'm not laughing at you. That sucks.
Just
Terrible.
bad luck.
Terrible.
Well,
Oh.
I got a white champion here if you want to come up and use it.
What is Kellen's question?
he's asking, I think he's asking how many tournaments do you need to win to get on the Bass Nation Facebook Live?
Well, you got to win an elite event. You got to win the classic,
Like all of us.
or you got to win 2 back-to-back Frank Stong events, or
Oh,
just two. They don't have to be back-to-back.
I guess I got to get out of here. I've only won one.
Oh, or one. I guess one will do.
okay. I'll just be quiet.
Frank, you're like grandfathered in, man.
I know. I've got to help John go for the 3-peat next August.
July?
August
August 1st.
August 1st.
Oh, that's right. It is August 1st.
Good thing we paid our entry already, so we can be boat one because we got a boat race to the freaking hump.
Hey, Kellen, once in a while we do this thing where we just we don't maybe have a guest scheduled, or we had one cancel. I don't know, earlier this fall, late summer, early fall, doesn't matter. Anyway, sometimes we'll just post the link in the comments and you just click on it and join the studio. So we'll do that next year sometime.
Yeah.
That one might be a fun one to do, like if we don't have a guest lined up after an event or something like that too,
Mm-hmm.
or after the classic or something. Get everybody's take on it.
Man, we didn't get
Oh.
into any Christmas like traditions or anything like that I was thinking about doing with him.
Well, how can you stop him? You
That
just
was,
let him.
yeah, it was a very cool podcast, just stories. I mean, we didn't talk much fishing. We talked deer hunting and just stories. I mean, when I say fishing, I mean like not. We talked. How did he run a
Technical
crankbait for
Yeah.
a little bit, but just the stories is cool.
I mean,
And his take on things. I wanted to ask him, but I didn't want to. We just ran out of time. Like, he said he got finished second in AOI that one year. I'm wondering, would it change if there was 2 tournaments left and he was, 5 points out of AOI lead or leading AOI? Would those 2 last change? Would it be, he said every one he goes for the win or goes for. I wonder if there was 2 tournaments left and he was 5 points out, would he fish for points in those 2? Or would he still go for it?
it's kind of like talking to him and kind of, I'm afraid to bring this up, but I feel compelled to just because you're on the show, like, the classic stuff. I mean, that was a huge deal when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And as a fan of the sport and as a huge fan of his, I had to ask him that. I had, I know he's talked about it in different contexts with others, on social media and things, but to get his take of it,
Boy, he D'd up real quick when you said 31, though.
Yeah, he did.
He was like
He's
29.
29.
That's a technical foul, sir.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
2 shots in the ball.
misspeak a little bit there. I actually thought it was 31, honestly. But,
It might as well have been. I mean, at that point, what's 2 pounds?
it's an ungodly amount of weight on the last day of the
unreal.
classic, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know how many little brown jigs and Ned rigs and drop shots them logs up there have seen since then?
Oh man, they're all smooth.
Yeah.
They all got dings in them from being pitched at.
I'm not gonna say that wasn't something that. I mean, that wasn't something that Edwin knew about. Obviously, he did know about that. Okay, or he wouldn't have went up there and done what he did.
Yeah.
Randy was fixing to figure that out. He just couldn't the day before. Didn't have the right conditions. Didn't have the right lures. Something, one reason or another, Randy didn't catch him up there that day. But what I still think about it, and I don't know, it could be true, could be not, is like I said, Terry Butcher Sr., Edwin's father-in-law, was living on Grand Lake when I was there in 2007. Terry Butcher Sr. used to fish every day on Grand Lake, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Had a trailer house in Bernice at the bridge, basically. Stayed in a fifth wheel camper right there at the bridge and fished every single day. You should have seen his tan. It was incredible. And Edwin's brother-in-law, he was on the Elite Series for a little while.
Yeah, I believe, I think I owe him a steak, or he may owe me a steak.
Let's tell it that way.
I think he owes me a steak. Terry Butcher. I'll have to get a hold of him and see.
Why don't you just get him on the podcast and we'll just get it all settled right then and there?
Might have to figure out how to do that.
That's an idea.
How to get him on.
I mean, because the man probably still catches a bass once in a while, I can only assume. So
Yeah, well, probably. I don't know. I don't know if he fishes anymore.
I can tell you his dad, man. But anyhow,
Let's we talked a little bit about before we get off here, does anybody have any like traditions that you do every year, either Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, that you got to do that maybe others don't? I'll start, because I think we talked about this a little bit. On Christmas Eve, we have chili and my mom's oyster stew.
And green jello with cottage cheese.
We don't, not on Christmas Eve. It's and the chili started because not everybody wanted oyster stew. And so we don't want to hurt mom's feelings. So we now do both. And so I'll make a big pot of chili. Mom will make a humongous pot of oyster stew for her and Val, who will eat some to be nice, because that's how Val is. But nobody else will eat it. So we'll do that.
I would.
We'll do that, and we will open one gift of the parents' choice. Like the kids can't pick up what they want to do. We get a pick, and it's usually the lamest gift,
Oh, the underwear and the
for the Christmas Eve is usually the lame one. That. So that's our tradition. One of them. We have others, but that's one of them.
I'll go next.
Okay.
This one's not a specifically on Christmas type of tradition, but during the Christmas season, my wife always makes the kids sit in front of the Christmas tree after we get it put up. We turn all the lights off, and she gets a picture every year.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 9 years worth of pictures now. Well, this was the
same
first
pose.
Yeah, same exact pose and
Oh,
everything.
cool.
So,
That is cool.
well, this year it took a little extra time because we are now in a different house.
Mm.
So this is the first year that it's in a different house. So it was slightly emotional.
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
because, we got to see them growing up through that whole time in the same place.
I
That
could
we had to
see
figure
that.
out how to take the picture a little different, but make it look the same.
Yeah, I could see that.
Same tree.
It's been replaced a couple of times through that time. But
That's
yep,
cool.
same
That is
pose and
cool.
everything. So, yep.
Kiki.
I mean, you know, over the course of a few years, my tradition as a Christmas Eve and Christmas Day things obviously changed drastically. Now, thankfully, I've got this shop and it's climate controlled, so I have a Christmas Eve get together for a lot of my friends and some of my wife's family. It lasts 4 or 5 hours. Sometimes we stay here on Christmas Eve and do kind of a dirty Santa or white elephant, whatever you want to call it, deal.
Mhm.
Christmas Eve night. Sometimes we go to the brother-in-law's and do it at his house. We try to alternate back and forth every other year, so that's fun. The kids have to feed the reindeer, so we spread stuff
Mhm.
out in the front yard for the reindeer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Christmas Day, we go out to her mom and dad's and do that thing, and then seems like the last couple of years the Chiefs have been on the TV, so we've gotten a chance to watch them lose on Christmas Day, which has been horrific. But
That's kind of a tradition.
it's turning into one, unfortunately.
So I sent out the gathering um, schedule for the week, and it's very loose schedule, but I kind of do it kind of as a poke jab at my dad's wife, sort of. I mean, I'm sure she's not watching this. She might be, but I sent out this schedule because she's from a very prim and proper family. So nothing we do is like, it's just different for her, right? Like she was mortified the first time we took her to Lambert's. Mortified, like mortified.
One of the
Anyway,
greatest places ever.
yeah, I know. So I send out this gathering schedule and for my mom because she's a huge Chiefs fan. So out throughout the schedule, I put things in there like on Christmas Day, we're going to go to Arrowhead and watch the Denver Chiefs game because Chiefs tickets are very cheap right now.
Yes,
So
they are.
that's for my mom. And I actually looked and we could go for all 10 of us could go for like $500.
Yeah, they're super cheap right now.
We're not going to go, but we could. Danny.
We have, now I realize I'm the odd one, but our tradition for Christmas is being non-traditional.
Hmm? Okay.
I mean, for Thanksgiving, it's it's like this:
Yeah.
turkey, dressing, green bean casserole,
Green Jello.
no green Jello with cottage cheese in it. My grandma did used to make green Jello with pears in it.
Mm.
That sounds a lot better.
That does not sound a lot better. Ooh.
Anyway, so every year, Christmas, I was always in retail, and my sister was always was a nurse. So we couldn't always plan exactly when Christmas was going to be every year way ahead of time. So it just became easier to do like everybody bring a soup or everybody bring a chili or,
Mm-hmm.
and when we got away from needing to do that, we just realized that we wasted so much time together in putting all of that meal together. We just kept doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it might be sloppy joes
Yeah.
one year or something like that. Or, a couple times I've done shrimp boil.
Mm-hmm.
So our tradition is not doing the same thing every year.
I kind of,
That's it.
I kind of second that a little bit. On my, well, me and my wife's Christmas Eve dealy here, it's definitely not. I'm not cooking the same thing every year, and that is what I love to do in my spare time, is cook for people, and
Mm-hmm.
I really, really enjoy it. And so I still haven't figured that out yet, what I'm going to cook for Christmas Eve, but it's always something different, and that's something that I enjoy about it, is just changing it up.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, if it's going to be dang near 70 degrees Christmas Day here, we may do burgers and hot dogs on the grill.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, look,
How can you not?
we
I know.
that was in my gathering thing. I mean, because, and you can't tell me, I don't know. You can argue against this, but I'm going to believe it, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. The good Lord is providing this weather for us, because we got 10 people coming here. We live in a camper. And yeah, they're going to have a place to sleep, but we got nowhere to gather. We got no, I mean, we cleaned out one of the rooms, took the beds out and put them in another room, and put a Christmas tree up in there. But all we have is lawn chairs to sit in, and this weather is going to make it amazing.
Absolutely.
Because we'll be able to be outside underneath the thing, playing cornhole and cooking on the flat top and on the smoker. And and here we were worried about it. And we've been worried about it. My dad's wife has been worried about it. Where are we gonna meet? Where are we gonna gather? And we're like, it'll be all right, and it's gonna be great.
It's Christmas.
It is Christmas.
It's hard to
77
believe.
degrees. It's going to be hard to believe that, but it is Christmas.
Man, it's hard. It really is. I remember, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, I did go to Christmas at my mother and father-in-law's in shorts and a t-shirt, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I do remember that. I just don't remember when that was. It was here recent, though.
Do you two younger guys and your kids do the elf on the shelf thing?
No.
If they're not listening, I'm assuming it's after 9. Yeah, we're good. Ours are in our Lazy Susan as we speak. Snowflake and Chippy. Yep.
Snowflake and Chippy.
I mean, when do they come out?
They come out December 1, and they fly away Christmas Eve night.
They've been going around.
They go back. I don't know about Cranker, but they go back to the North Pole.
Oh, mine have never started coming to my house.
Yeah, but they move around nightly, right?
Absolutely. Yesterday, Snowflake and Chippy were in a bowl full of marshmallows. They were in a snow tub, not a hot tub, a snow tub.
Yeah. So your creative wife, that's a school teacher, goes all out with the notes and all that, like Nicole does for my grandkids, because she's a school teacher.
You can use it to your advantage. I really enjoy, I enjoy when Snowflake and Chippy hold up and eat in Julia and Max's bedrooms and write notes that say, if this room's not clean. by such and such date.
Well done, Emily Keister. Nice job.
So last year, or was it 2 years ago when they were here? I think we showed this on the podcast.
Thank
Oh,
you.
your video. Yes.
So they put out candy canes throughout the tree line and around the property. And so we spent an hour trying to help the kids and help the elves find the candy canes because because they forgot where they put them all. And we had to find them all. So anyway,
if this Snowflake and Chippy deal goes much further down the road for the Kisters, have you guys ever set off the big giant rockets on the 4th of July that you swear when the fuse act finally goes, when it lights, that rocket's still flying as we speak? That's where Snowflake and Chippy are going to make their way back to the North Pole on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
yeah, that'll be good.
yes.
That'll be good.
I so
You need to
badly
film
want it.
that. You need to film that like we did the other night or
About
when they were here.
7 or 8 years from now, or however long it takes for Snowflake and Chippy to make their last exit.
All you
I
gotta
want
do
to
is
be on one of those rockets.
just take a picture of it before and after with him strapped to it.
I'm gonna nickname you Sid from Toy Story.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, we've been on here 2 hours and 17 minutes.
I got the day off tomorrow, so I ain't too worried about it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm still smiling, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we are not going to have a show next week, correct?
Correct.
No show next week
Or the following.
or the following. Christmas and New Year's. We're taking a siesta.
Yep. So we'll be back on what, the 7th?
8th.
January 8th
8th? And we're
on
gonna
YouTube exclusively.
YouTube exclusively. All you Facebook posters.
And if you need the address, it's been in the comments. I posted all of our YouTube stuff, our links right there. Thank you, Cranker. I also posted all of Jason's stuff, his links to Instagram and YouTube, and specifically the Brown Recliner series.
That'll be cool. I'm gonna
That
watch.
yeah, that'll be fun.
I can't wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be kicking off the year with a guy that we've been trying to get on for quite a while, to be quite honest with you.
He's fairly popular.
Yeah, he's a little popular. But we got him to start off the new year. At least I think we do. He's on the schedule. He has agreed to come on. Mr. Easton Fothergill. Coming on. I say
Maybe bring his dog.
Maybe he'll bring his dog, as long as he leaves him there and doesn't put him in a room where we have to clean the sheets. We'll be good.
Maybe Cranker can quiz him about his little Nico rig stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a fairy wand extraordinaire.
Before we know it, we're gonna be circling the hump with fuzzy dice and Nico rigs, and them stinking 5-pounders won't know what to think of it.
How do
Yeah.
you know I didn't already do that last year?
Yeah.
Danny.
What?
You gonna be able to make it August 1st to Big Hill, or
Yeah,
you know how to get there?
I remember. I remember how to get there.
We're gonna have to do an Idle Zone side pot.
Just bring your fripping sticks. I don't need no fairy wands in my boat.
Me neither.
That's all I
I got
have.
it covered for everybody.
It's good if your partner has one, though.
You guys would laugh. You knew what I got. I got coming for Christmas. I saw it in the closet. Big old giant rod tube molds. It's full of spinning rods.
Beautiful.
I have one of those over here in the corner.
Do you know how those reels work?
Got to get better at it, guys.
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
You don't have to. If you
No,
want to
you
be
don't.
relevant, you need to.
I got to get better at it.
Speaking of fuzzy dice,
Okay.
you guys, I hope you do, follow Davis Bait Company. Have you
Mhm.
seen their dice bait thingy?
Mm-hmm.
Will did a little video with it the other day. It looks pretty good. Of the ones that I've seen, I think I like it maybe the best.
Okay.
Looks pretty good to me.
How many smallmouth have seen a fuzzy dice on Big Hill, John?
3.
Exactly. My point exactly.
That doesn't mean you have to throw it on a fairy wand.
Yeah, you could throw it on Carolina rig.
I don't throw my Nico rig on a spinning rod. So there.
Mm-hmm.
We still have people watching us.
I know.
Isn't
I
that
don't-
amazing?
These
It
poor
is
people.
amazing.
Just glad they're not
Well,
paying money.
They must be all off work tomorrow too. I guess the fires and stuff up there are under control, or what's going on there?
Yeah, they're reported as under control.
Okay, that's a good.
Just
deal.
monitoring through the night.
I see Mike Miller on here.
Mike, if you're still on, I didn't mention you by name, but at the start of the show, I kind of gave you a little shout out about it. You got pretty close there.
Yep. Guys, we had a great year.
Amen to that.
Yes, agreed.
Merry Christmas.
Next year's going to be better. I think. I hope. I mean, I don't know how much you can get better, but it was pretty awesome. But we're going to try. Maybe do some different things. Merry Christmas.
It's good to see you, buddy. And
Happy New Year.
Look
For
forward
everybody watching. Thanks
Hey,
for
you know
watching.
what?
Yeah.
The next 2 weeks, when there's no show to watch, you could watch old shows on YouTube, catch
You could
yourself
do
up, make yourself familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You could also record your own favorite fishing memory
Hey,
that Mr. Crank just pretty much begged you to record.
that's going to be our New Year's resolution. And you can help us make it happen.
Yes.
What's the resolution? Can we get one a show? Just
I would,
pick one out
yeah.
from our crap from our.
I mean, I would like to get enough
listeners?
that we can make it either a weekly
Segment?
or even a monthly segment.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Because
All you gotta do is hit record, Kiki.
I
Just
totally
hit record.
related to when Jason was talking about his wall behind him and just walking up and down the wall.
Yeah.
All I've got to do is literally walk out my back door and into the garage
Mm-hmm.
because there's not that much of my stuff in there yet. It's all my dad's stuff.
Yeah.
And I could do 20 a day for a month.
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds, guys.
Yeah.
60 seconds.
I
You
could
can
do a
share
lot.
a pretty
I
good
could
story
do a
in a
lot.
minute.
Yeah, I could do a lot too. And this is maybe for the older guys in the crowd, like me. My issue is when I think about it, I need to stop and do it. Because 5 minutes from now, I'll be like, what was I just thinking about? I was gonna do a video about
Yeah.
something.
What was I going to do? Or I'll do it later when I'm in the mood.
Yeah.
My problem is I agree, and I slightly disagree with the 30 to 60 seconds. I mean, I could take up 10 or 15 minutes.
We'll do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't
Then do it.
30 to 60 may be a little unrealistic if you're telling a story.
5 minutes.
But I just did one today that you probably all saw about Val's birthday and what she means to me, and it was 5 minutes.
Sometimes it takes
And I
that
said
long.
and I said pretty much everything I needed to say in that video. And it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes it takes me that long to spit all the material items out.
Well, you might have to do a couple takes, and then you couple takes, you'll get her chopped up, and or if you do it on a GoPro and you upload the video to your editing software, it's real easy to cut it up.
Well, maybe we'll work on that in the next few days.
You
Give
can
it a
even
shot.
you can even email it to producer Crank and he will chop it up for you.
There you go.
He can literally text it to him and he can chop it up for you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
David, I don't know if that's good or bad. I sound like his wife.
She's got a gruff voice.
I don't know what to think about that.
Hope she doesn't have a beard like you've got.
I know that'd be awkward, wouldn't it?
Love, peace, and chicken grease, guys.
Amen to that. Guys, thanks for watching. Remember, we're taking next 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year's. We'll be back January 8th exclusively on YouTube. And look, we wouldn't offer this to just anybody, but okay, we understand that some of you don't watch YouTube. So if you need help finding the show, just message one of us and we'll get you there. I did it 3 times the other day for other people. So
If you're worried about the cost, we'll even pay for it.
yes, we'll pay for it. Wait, we're paying for it now.
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Peace, man.